we drop it and we let it. I'll let guys practice maybe throwing a divert a couple of times once it cools off a bit. And you can see it's pretty heavy. Generally, if this is the threshold of the door and I want to throw a divert in there, I'm going to be the second guy in the stack, and the first guy's going to stand there, and the slammer will be on the opposite side, and he'll kick the door in, or hit the door in, and when he does, this guy's my cover. So the first thing he's going to have out is his rifle, and have it pointed right at the door. That way, when the door goes open, if the turd's like where Abe is, well then he can engage in there. He protects the guy throwing the divert, because like the break and break guy, he's only got a diversion in his hand. And then all he does is do a quick peek. Remember what we talked about, make sure there's no children, elderly people in the area of the threshold, because if you drop it on a 2-year-old, you're likely to kill them. The overpressure from that will crack your fucking skull. They'll be leaking brains out their nose, and your ass is going to be going to federal pen for it. And same thing with chucking it deep in the room. We don't throw them in there, arm them in there. We basically take a quick look, make sure there's no children, women, elderly people in there, and we also make sure there's no what? Flammable shit right there inside the door. If it's a meth house, you don't go chucking it in there because they got either all kinds of chemicals. Now you can, just be prepared to run once you do it. And we've had some SWAT teams, and I'm sure people have seen them on the news, where they've actually chucked one inside a house that was usually a cookhouse or something along those lines. We're cooking meth, and they've detonated a grenade in there and blew the whole roof off the house and blew the doors out the side. But generally when we toss a diversion in, you're just going to see the door, it's going to open up, you're going to look in the immediate threshold, make sure there's not any type of elderly person, kid, and you're just going to drop it in. We don't like arm it and throw it deep into the room. You just drop it right inside the threshold. Some teams will close the door to get a bigger effect inside the room. We generally leave it open because you don't want to lose sight. If the guy was in the corner, he sees the grenade come in, he takes off running, you want to be able to yell out runner. Remember what we talked about the team adjusting? If they hear runner, you automatically know the first guy, if he can catch him, he's going to take off after him. If the guy runs too deep in the room, it gets out of way ahead of us, we're not going to, we just know that way everybody knows, hey, a runner went somewhere in the house. You need to be on point, because freaking there ain't no telling what he was running for, where he's running to, and if he's got a pre-plan, you have an AK and sit in the bedroom and wait for you. You want to start banging every room, and that's what we'll do. Start hitting every door that's closed with a flash. So, stuff like that, we're going to keep it real simple. Everybody's going to see there's only 4 targets in there. You got a kind of a good gist of where they're going to be. This is where we're going to practice like the port and clears from, clearing the window from the outside. You're coming around the corner, having a guy do the rake and break for you, or simulate a rake and break, and then you're going to come up inside the window and engage the 2 targets. Once you're off target, the other guys will have them go ahead and make entry. We're going to pretend that a lot of these windows aren't open. I didn't have enough cardboard or paper to put it across there, so they would be actually shut. But we're not, like I said, hiding anything from you. We're just wanting you to get max number of repetitions in here so you get confident in your abilities and your skills, and you get plenty of reps going through here. And we might change the targets up here or there, but it's pretty much going to be basic. All right, everybody come on in here. You know how I want you to come in and how I want you to clear the room. We do 4-man clears. We might split the stack and have 2 come in on this side and 2 come in on that side. Remember what we talked about, muzzle awareness. All right, everybody stays down at the stool. If you're coming in with your rifle, you're down here. It's just like moving through the house. If I'm moving through the house, going down range to engage targets, until I see one, I walk just normal speed. Thumbs on the safety, ready to go. Thumb needs to be up here near the light so I can engage it whenever I'm ready to, and I'm just walking through the house, looking head on a swivel, looking for a target until I get to where I want to go. When you come through, it's the same thing. You don't move any faster than you can shoot. You move at a slow walk. We don't do the Groucho because you'll tend to see people when they practice that Groucho walk or something, they'll get there and as soon as they get ready to shoot, they start moving like they're in slow motion, like they're going back in time. So walk normal. Should be, everybody knows how to walk. We walk to and from work, walk through our houses every day. All right, so it's something simple and we keep it that way. Muzzles on the rifle. Touch point, pivot point. You want your touch index into your shoulder. You can keep it down here like that, that's fine, but I always try to keep the stock touching the point in the shoulder where it's going to rest in whenever I snap it up and I'm ready to fire. When you come in and you notice your target, I come in, let's say that's the door, that crack right there, and I'm moving in. I come in and I notice the target, head and eyes are going to come up. I'm going to flick the weapon on to fire and finger's going to go on to the trigger. As soon as I know there's a target downrange, and I'm going to be taking a shot at it. Not any time before that. So I don't want you getting prepped outside the door and taking the weapon off safe and keeping your finger straight. Weapon stay on safe until we come inside, we see a target and we got to engage it, then we'll come up. Weapon to go off safe, finger go on the trigger and we'll engage the target. Here, like I said, I don't remember what TJ tell you the round count was going to be.
125.
Okay, good. Well, we're not going to get anywhere close to that, but don't go overly ape shit on firing rounds. Keep it about 2 to 3 shots, similar to what you do. You want to be cognizant of your rounds. We don't want to be spraying and praying down range for them. You want to get good lethal hits on the target. These are a little bit smaller than a normal silhouette. They're not midgets. All right, they were just the targets I had in the car. All right, so if any of y'all are offended because you're smaller people, you shouldn't be, because most of you are bigger than I am. So they're closer to actually my size. But the red X is where we want you aiming for. Unless you want to take a headshot, take a headshot, and that's fine with me. Just be cognizant. Any rounds that go off of the silhouette, that could simulate him being down a hallway at your work, a hallway down at your business, at the mall, and you're out there and you got your rifle in your car with you. You don't want one zipping past his head and hitting a 5-year-old at the other end of Firewheel, because your ass is going to pay. It's just like a cop out there and a civilian. Unfortunately, you're probably going to pay a lot more for being the hero than we will in screwing up. If you try to be the hero and screw up, you're probably going to be even worse in the boat than we are. All right, so same thing with a pistol. These are going to take a little bit more. It's going to take a little bit more side alignment, trigger control, and pressing to hit those smaller targets at that distance. So when we come in here, regardless of whether it's rifles or pistols, and looks like everybody's got a rifle. If you don't, you can run it with the pistol. All right. I don't care which one you want to run it to. Remember, if you have a malfunction, not saying anything about the 22 conversion kits, but I've seen them fuck up a lot out here. If you have a problem with it, or the thing goes click instead of bang, what should you do? Everybody knows. Transition to the pistol and engage the target. Once the target or the threat's down, you can yell out check, clear, whatever you got to do to get your weapon up and running, fix your rifle and your stick before we go back outside and run the next drill in. All right? Class over here split up point cover, and half the class over here by the trunks. Weapon light's working. You got your hand where you can activate the weapon light, because once the lights start going out, this place does not have any electricity here, and we're going to start running it just like we normally would. If we ain't got a light, that's what the flashlights are given to us for. Make sure your stock's out to the correct position that you got. Everything's good to go on your body or on your person, ready and set to go. All right. You two are going to go in. Whenever I say go, I'm just going to, when I give you the command boom or bang, I'll just act like I'm dropping a flashbang. Y'all are going to walk in and clear, and you're going to go, you two, whenever you come through, you're going to stay on this side. See the post that split the thing down the middle? I don't mind if you come over here and go here. The other one goes over there. Just do not go past the middle point. Same thing with you two. Y'all do not go past this middle point. Which is the prime place for the first guy to go in the door? If we were going to make an imaginary wall going all the way down here, where would you want to go first? Coming in the door.
To the right.
There you go. You want a button hook and you want to get that corner, because that's the unknown. That's the threat that you want to get to. What about you? If you're coming in here, there was a wall going down this way, you couldn't see through the windows, which way would you want to go? Back into the unknown, back to the corner, all right? Unless you knew that there was a possible threat here, or a greater threat on this side, or a possible greater threat, then you would go to that. But primarily, you want to follow the door in to make sure nobody's behind the door, and the unknown threat behind it, the corner behind it. All right, good to go? Everybody eyes and ears, outside and inside. All right. On the execute. Stand by. 3, 2, 1, execute, execute, execute. Don't forget your scan. Once you scan, you can go down. You can safety and slay them. Down to the low ready. There you go. All right, everybody, look smooth. All right, it's on you. Whenever y'all are ready, you either tap up or let them know from the back that you're ready to go. However y'all want to do it. You can give them a tap on the shoulder.
Yeah, it's retired.
All right, and it's on you moving up. You're going to stop at the door. Right there next to it, I'm the slammer. I'm going up there. Everybody's eyes and ears. Boom!